my name is Thor Martin, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about how being constantly online is slowly sucking the life's blood out of our existence. So how many of you would say that you couldn't live without your phone? Okay, so how many of you would say that you spend way too much time online?
Me.
Well, many of us have become too reliant on technology, and more specifically the internet, to fill voids that we create in our lives. Whether you use the internet to stay in touch with old high school friends or use it for work, it's safe to say that we're using it way too much. But, filling all these gray areas of time with this technology comes at a price, doesn't it? So today we're going to discuss how increased online activity and our growing reliance on technology is slowly hurting us. As an avid procrastinator, I often fall prey to scrolling through my social media platforms when I should be doing other things, but I use this as like a comfort or a security blanket whenever I feel uncomfortable or insecure in situations. Increased availability to the internet, increased screen time, and a lack of true face-to-face social interaction are just a few ways that we're slowly being poisoned by being online. One factor that contributes to us being hurt is the increasing availability to the internet. Referencing the diagram, according to Nathan McDonald from WeAreSocial.com, at the beginning of 2018, more than 4 billion people around the world use the internet. Since that's over half of the world's total population, people are becoming more and more connected every day. Most of the technological growth in 2018 came from Africa, believably. This growth is partially due to the increased affordability for services like internet and mobile devices like cell phones and tablets. But think back to when the computer or the cell phone was first invented. It was mainly reserved for the upper middle class person, but now it's available to everyone. Most people used to rely on that word of mouth and even that old party line to stay up to date with what was going on around them. Now with the information readily available at our fingertips, we can literally access the world at any point of the day. With increased availability, in turn comes increased screen time. According to Newsweek journalist Tony Dokoupil, Americans have merged with their machines, staring at a screen for at least 8 hours a day, more time than we spend on any other activities, including sleeping. While most of us have grown our internet reliance, many of us don't know a world without internet. As someone who was born in the mid-90s, the internet has been better than it's ever been. You can do things like watch Netflix on internet, shop on Amazon, or even Postmates and Taco Bell right from the comfort of your own screen. So now Apple has allowed its users a feature that breaks down their screen time, and it will show how much time you use your phone and what apps you spend your time on the most, and even how many times you even pick up your phone to look at it. And even the fact that Apple offers it to its users should be an eye-opener to most of the society, because we're becoming too glued to our screens and we're less in tune with the real world around us. And lastly, while the internet has been undoubtedly beneficial to the modern world, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. According to Chris Kresser, the internet was designed to connect us with others. It's certainly done this, but it's also true that the internet can be a cause of disconnection in our lives. It's not uncommon to go out to a nice restaurant and see friends sitting at a table, but they're doing this. They're scrolling through their phone, and while we may feel connected in this little world that we have in our hands, we neglect the reality and oftentimes the people that mean the most to us. So today, we've looked at a couple of examples of the ways that we're being constantly poisoned by being online. We have learned that increased internet availability, increased screen time, and the lack of social interaction are just a few ways that being constantly online is draining the lifeblood out of our existence. So taking the initiative to put down the electronic devices and spend time with one another is just one way that we can all combat the ever-growing online culture. Thank you.